Am I the asshole for accidentally sleeping on the couch with my husband? My husband, 24 male, and I, 24 female, are visiting my family. My husband, kids, and I were getting ready to go to our room for bed when my parents started acting really awkward, like something was off. I asked them what was wrong, and my mom quietly told me that my husband should sleep on the couch in the living room. I was a bit shocked because why? Apparently, my dad doesn't feel comfortable. I called her and my dad weird and told my husband to ignore them. We finally put our kids to sleep and are getting ready to sleep when my mom barges into the room while we're changing and says that she doesn't want us in the same room alone in her house. My husband is freaking terrified at this point because he was in the middle of changing, so he leaves for the couch. And my mom says she's sorry, but she's not in the mood to deal with my dad's complaining all night. I pointed out that my younger sister, 21 female, and her husband have slept in the same room at their house multiple times and she's never said anything. And she goes, "Well, your husband is white, so your dad feels weird." I was over it, so I said fine. I got up at like 4 a.m. to drink some water, and I saw my husband wide awake just lying on the couch. He said the couch is uncomfortable as fuck, which, yes, it is. So I sat down next to him, and we both accidentally fell asleep. I woke up later to my mom freaking out. She was whisper yelling so she doesn't wake up my dad, and asked if we're that codependent on each other that we can't spend one night alone. I tried explaining that it was a mistake, but she kept calling me disrespectful and said that I was selfish, etc. I was upset, but my son called for me, so we ended our conversation. Now I'm wondering if I really am the asshole in this situation. My mom says I am because I was being selfish, disrespectful, and completely disregarded how difficult her life would have become if my dad found us. My whole thing is that it was an accident. I'm 24, my dad is being weird, and my sister's husband doesn't have to do this. So why does mine? My family and I are South Asian. Yes, I know a lot of this has to do with my husband being white and them being racist, prejudiced. I called my parents weird/strange, awkward because of what they were doing. Glaring at each other, swearing at each other under their breaths, randomly going quiet out of nowhere, etc. They do this pretty often and have been doing it for as long as I can remember. So much that my sister and I call it the weird mood. Like, keep an eye out for mom and dad. They're in their weird mood. Sorry for so many edits, but this should be the last one. I'm getting a lot of people asking the same thing, so I'm just going to copy one of my replies. My kids were not in danger. We live over 8 hours away. It was snowing heavily, and the roads would have been icy and pitch black. It was after 11 p.m. My sons are 2 and 3, and the nearest hotel is pretty far away. Not to mention, my husband and I had been driving for literal hours and were completely exhausted. Trust me, we definitely thought about it, and both my husband and I decided to stay the night.